everyone, I have Miss Sylvie here with me today and she's looking so precious. I just did her kind of like hospital photo shoot, which was really fun. That was last week. I believe I posted all the pictures, well not all of them, but a lot of them on Instagram if you guys are interested. My Instagram is the same as my YouTube channel, it's just Rosie Reborns. And I haven't made just like a changing in chat video in a very long time. So a couple different things. Let me know how you guys feel about the lighting. I don't have the best lighting at the moment. I kind of waited a little late in the day to start the video. But yeah, let me know how you feel about the lighting, how you feel about the angle. I'm trying to like sort of get back in the swing of posting on YouTube, posting on Instagram. And I'm going to get like a little bit deeper into that. But before I do, I just want to show you guys what I'm going to change her into. So I actually got this little outfit. If you guys watched Andrew's box opening, I got this with him. And I've been wanting to put it on a baby because it's like a good like large preemie small newborn. It says 0 to 1 months. It's a European brand, CA Baby, and I think it would just fit her really nicely. It is a little bit more gender neutral though, so I wanted to still make her look kind of girly. I haven't decided what bow to put on her. I have like too many options. So I don't know if I want to go like super girly and do like a pink, or if I want to go like more on the neutrals side of things. I don't know. We're probably just gonna put everything on her and then sort of decide. I'm kind of leaning towards this like silvery gray bow because it matches the raccoon really well, but we shall see. And then I also brought her Lovey in too, which is another thing that I got with Andrew. I just love all the stuff that he came with, and I didn't actually have him for that long. So anyway, let's get this cutie all undressed. So I kind of just want to talk about like sort of like what's been going on in my reborn collecting lately, because I've been making a lot of kind of weird shocking changes that I never really thought that I would make, and yeah, I just sort of want to talk about like making that leap because it's kind of scary, and so yeah, I just sort of want to go through my like thought process over the past couple months. And like maybe this will kind of help some of you guys who are like maybe on the fence about making a really big decision in the reborn hobby, because it's hard, especially when you've been in the hobby for a long time. I've been collecting since 2011, so about 14 years, which is kind of insane. I've been collecting for like over half of my life. And I apologize if I'm like super rusty because I haven't made a video in so long, but yeah, once I started working, I just did not have quite as much time for all of the hobbies that I was interested in, and I was kind of gravitating more towards, my like artsy hobbies. I was doing a lot more knitting, a lot more crocheting, and I was also starting to teach myself how to draw again, because it's been a very long time since I have drawn anything, and so it was just going through that instead, and when you only have like a certain amount of time set in the day, you kind of focus on the stuff that you're like really into. And so you know, there was one point in time where like after I had moved, that I looked at my dolls, I realized I hadn't changed any of them in a few months. Probably hadn't even like touched them in a few months. I mean, I would still look at them and enjoy them. But I just kind of like thought to myself, I'm like, what am I really doing? Like, do I even still like dolls, you know? And I was thinking, of course, like you look at all the money you've invested in your dolls and you kind of think like, you know, if I'm not truly enjoying this, like what else can I put the money towards? And when you have like all of these expenses that you're not quite used to having, because when I was in college, I lived at home, and then like going from that to like having a job and a car and a house and a family and all of that, it's a lot of adjustment. And so, you know, I was thinking like, oh, if I sell, I could get this fixed, or I could get a new paddle board, or like something else that I was like kind of more into at the time. And then like I sort of had this like internal meltdown of just like I love the dolls so much, and like this hobby still like makes me so happy, but like I'm clearly doing something wrong, right? Because I'm not paying any time with my dolls. And so like, what do I need to do if I want to stay in this hobby to like actually make myself happy? And one of the things that I've always wanted since I first started in this hobby was a realistic full body silicone baby. And I had three reborns and one partial silicone at this time. And I thought that just the partial silicone, sorry buddy, would kind of help me sort of scratch that itch that I had for a silicone baby, but I just wasn't getting like that full realism that I like always kind of like really wanted. And so and the weird thing is to like kind of describe, especially to like some of the people who are newer collectors, is I actually loved all of the dolls in my collection. I truly did. Before I sold all of my dolls, I had my Kiara sculpt by Holly Paz, and I adored that baby. Her name was Winona, and I loved her. She was like just the ultimate realistic, like fresh, new baby look that I always wanted. Gorgeous. And then I had my my Laura sculpt, and I absolutely loved her as well. She was made by it's gonna lose me, but anyway, I also just adored that doll as well. Thought that like she was just the most gorgeous thing ever. And I even really enjoyed my partial silicone at the time. I thought that her painting was really, really well. But I was like, if I'm going to get back into this hobby, like I have to do something drastic, or like I have to just like, kind of be like, well, maybe my time is up in the hobby, which like made me so sad. Because I still enjoyed like looking at the dolls. I still had, scrolled through my Reborn Instagram from time to time. I would still watch Reborn related videos. Like I wasn't ever fully out of the hobby, I would say, even when like I wasn't interacting with my dolls. And so it just made me really sad to think about like, what would my life be like without all these gorgeous dolls? But like I said, like I can't just have all this money laying around and not be doing anything with it. And so I took the plunge. I sold every single one of my dolls kind of all around the same time. And for the first time in like 13-14 years, my nursery was completely empty. And I kind of got like the feel of like, because obviously I hadn't picked out or bought silicone at that point in time. So I was kind of just like, okay, so this is what it's like to not have a doll. Am I okay with this? And I wasn't, clearly. So that was kind of like my first experiment, was just like, I'm planning on doing this, but like, how do I really feel about, not having a single doll? And I felt really sad, actually. These dolls, like I said, just bring me a crazy amount of joy. And so I ended up buying Andrew. Oh my gosh, looks like she got shocked. I kind of knew that would happen after I took off her hat. Oh my gosh, she looks so silly, poor thing. Okay. Anyway, so I got Andrew, and I absolutely, yet again, like adored him. But he had such a rocky time getting here. Like I was actually probably without a doll in my collection for like 2-ish months, just because it took him so long to get here, because there was a bunch of delays and issues with shipping. And by the time he got here, I was just like, I don't even want the doll anymore. Which is weird. Like, you know, you finally get the doll that you've been waiting for, and like, I think that I'm just someone who likes that like immediate gratification of just like, it's almost like, all right, I ordered the doll, where is it now? And I loved him, but I just feel like he wasn't like everything that I was like dreaming or like hoping of. And yet again, I like the same thoughts went through my mind. It's just like, you know, why am I doing this? Do I still even like really, you know, want a doll? So I kind of just kept Andrew around and didn't really like do anything with him. I feel like I did her hair wrong. How did I do it earlier where like it looked cute? So yeah, I had Andrew around for like a while, just like kind of like frustrated and like sad, and I just didn't want to even like deal with the hobby, right? And I was just like still in the back of my mind, I was just like, I need to just sell this doll and I need to just like move on, right? And you know, I could always come back to the hobby, but I was thinking about like getting rid of like my crib and all that other kind of stuff. And then, you know, you start doing the thing again where you're on Facebook or Instagram and you see like a gorgeous doll for sale and you're like, oh, so pretty, I want her so bad, or I want him so bad. And so then I was like kind of going back into this mindset of just like, yet again, I need to get this doll sold, but it's because I want to get another doll. And I finally got the motivation to put him up for sale, because I found this little munchkin. And to be honest, like it's been probably a few years since I've truly been like this happy in the hobby. And so I just want to say to like all those people who are either new or veterans in the hobby, if you've been here for a long time, and you know, you're just like not feeling the same like spark of joy as you used to, like it's okay to like try something like crazy in your mind, right? Like I remember when I first got in the hobby and I was like, I'm never gonna sell any of my dolls, I'm just gonna keep buying more. Like I would never ever sell any of them. And I like, after a while you have 3-4 dolls and you're not happy with your collection, and you're like, okay, well, let's try selling one and see what happens. And I had like a favorite baby that I had for like the longest time. You guys, if you've yet again been following me for a really long time, her name was Kaylee, and I can't remember what her sculpt was right now, but she was my favorite reborn that I've ever had. And I eventually had to, because I wasn't interacting with her at all, I had to kind of go through the same process. I was like, I love this doll, but like I can't just have like money sitting here and like me not enjoying it. And so eventually I did sell her to get one of my other absolute all-time favorite babies. So I feel like, you know, this hobby is just like a journey, and kind of the whole, oh, I did not do very well putting that bow on. I hate when that happens. And just like kind of the whole, you know, never say never thing. And, you know, if something's not working, sometimes you just need to step back and figure out like what will work for you. You know, like I said, I've always wanted, you know, a silicone baby that was like this realistic. Like she is like a real baby. Like if you look at her belly and, you know, if you just saw like photos of her and you didn't know about the hobby, like you would totally believe that's just a living baby in the picture. And yeah, that was my dream for just the longest time. But I never ever thought that I would be someone who could sell all of my dolls that I actually really loved. And it was an easy decision. I sat on it for months and months. But yeah, sometimes making that jump is scary, but you just have to do it. If you truly do want to stay in the hobby. I mean, like, of course, if you were like, yeah, I don't really want to do dolls anymore, that's totally fine too. I mean, being in the hobby this long, I've had so many friends, or like acquaintances or people that I knew relatively well leave the hobby just because, they moved on from it. It wasn't something that they enjoyed anymore, which is totally fine. And so, there might be a day where like I do get to that point. And that will have to be something really, really sad. If it ever does get there. Like I said, I hope it doesn't, because just like having changed her and looking at her right now, like, I'm just so happy. But yeah, if you guys have any other like questions or video requests or anything else, just let me know. I hope to make more videos with her. I have been trying to post on my Instagram at least once a week, which is a pretty lofty goal for me. I'm not great at that, but I have like a whole list of ideas. So I'm trying to do like at least one of those ideas each week. When I first bought her, I was thinking like, oh, I could do one every day. And then I was like, yeah, there's no way. Gotta have reasonable goals for yourself. But one of the themes that I want to do was like a pajama of the night. And since I've been wanting to put this on her for a little while, I figure this will be perfect. And she looks all ready for bed, even though it's only like 4 o'clock here, but whatever. But yeah, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you in the next one.